Good morning again. So, I hope everybody slept well. If you just woke up, or if you've had a good evening, morning, or something in between wherever you happen to be. I'm just sitting here shuffling the cards, reminding myself to take that breath, trying to make my plans for the day. I've been totally distracted, so I am glad that I have this to remind me to take a sip of coffee. Let my shoulders go and take a breath. Let's see what the cards have for us today. So yesterday was kind of about dealing with pressure. Let's see what we have for today. See what lessons we can focus on, something we can learn from. Maybe something can present itself to help us deal with any time during the day where we may feel like anger, resentment, or any of those other feelings. Maybe if we look at it now, we will be prepared. Okay, so voila, my 3 stacks. My 3 threads going out to the universe. Each one of these is going to be a different conversation, all based on which thread I pull. So let's go see what's at the heart of today. Let's go with the center stack. I'm going to do my 3 and 1. And take a small breath. And I'm going to flip each card over one at a time so that I can read them like a book. And I like to just go through it intuitively, knowing that as I turn this card over and this card over, I can think I know where it's going, but by the time I get to this one, it can change everything. So I just read it as I go along to see what presents itself. So first, a decision. So the 2 of Swords is about making that decision. Uncertainty. So I'm just immediately going to turn this one over so we can see the 10 of Wands reversed. So 10 of Wands is about getting something done. Doing it by yourself, taking on the burden yourself. It can be a heavy burden. But when it's reversed, it's about letting go of that burden. Maybe getting help with something. Finding somebody to help take that burden. And then we have the Death card. And no, we don't need dun 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 for the Death card, as some people assume. The Death card is about transition and moving forward and allowing yourself to move forward. So it seems that there is, in this situation here, there's something that has been a burden, something that we've taken on. It could be family, dealing with family life, home, work. But it's making that tough choice. But the main focus of that choice is to release ourselves of that burden, to allow ourselves to move forward. The hard part about making decisions like this is voluntarily making the decision instead of having that decision thrust on us because we just can't take it anymore. I mean, this guy right here, he can get to the point where he just can't take it anymore, and the decision's made for us. So, I'm going to flip over this card. And it's the Two of Wands. So we have these twos here. We have this decision to make. We have to be able to let ourselves go of this burden. And we can do it. But we're having a tough time letting go of it. And the Two of Wands as the advice card. Is saying, since it's reversed, the Two of Wands, it can be exciting. It's about making an exciting choice. You have the entire, he has the entire world in his hand there. And he's looking out. And he's looking at all the possibilities. But the Two of Swords is about a mental difficulty in making that choice. It's a stormy choice. It's the brain is just left and right and firing and not really sure. So not seeing the positive possibilities that are being presented. And so that's what the advice card is saying, is that we need to look at the positive possibilities. We have to ask ourselves, what's the biggest burden we have right now? What's the biggest burden, and why can't we let that burden go? What's going on inside our mind? What are we afraid of? What's keeping us from seeing that positive side of it? To where we don't see how this is going to benefit us or anybody else. But certainly carrying this burden around isn't benefiting anybody except maybe a therapist. And that's on an hourly basis when you pay them. So for today, I would almost say write down, just figure it out, and what is the burden? What are the two sides of it? And what are the possibilities? You know, this is a transition. It doesn't mean it's easy, but as I always say with this card, I had a book as a kid. It's the oldest book I have. It's the oldest thing I have from being a child. It's a book by Helen Keller, and it's got my scribbles in it. It's where I took a pencil to it. I was so young, I don't even know what I was doing. But in there, it says the famous lines that, you know, God doesn't close one door without opening another one. And that's this card here. We can't see beyond our own insecurities and our own fears. We can't see beyond those. But by closing one door, the other door opens. If we don't close that door, there are no other possibilities. We're stuck. And we stay in this. So today, the advice is that we need to take the Two of Swords. We need to come up with a plan, because the wands are about creativity. The wands are about fire and energy. But this is reversed. So we need to take the blindfold off. We need to figure out a way to look past the blindfold. And that blindfold is not forced on this person. We put that blindfold on, and then we hold those two swords like that, trying to make a decision. We need to figure out a way to allow ourselves to take that blindfold off, and then look at the world of possibilities so that we can let go of that burden that we have. And then walk through our fears and allow that transition to happen one way or the other. So what are we blinding ourselves to that is keeping us from letting go of that burden? And how can we turn this into a positive thing? So, with that, thank you again. And I hope you have an amazing day. And tonight at 5:30, we are doing an hour-long discussion, me and Michael, on the Judgment card. So if you'd like to join us 5:30 Eastern Standard, please feel free to. So thank you again, and have, again, an amazing day.